podcast. This is the Bear With Me podcast. Thanks for listening to the Bear With Me podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of all ages, hopefully over 18 plus, to the Bear With Me podcast. This ugly looking dude next to my left here is Quentin. Welcome back, bro.
Welcome back to the Bear With Me podcast. This gentleman right here is Joel.
Sounds the worst intro we've done. We'll keep this in. This sounds good. If you guys are watching on video, do you see what Quentin is drinking there? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking tea.
Tea. He asked me when I pulled up today. He goes, "Would you like some tea?" I was like, "No."
But he's sick, okay? He's got this cold. He's too pussy to get over, so I offered him some tea to help him out, but
Real
he didn't
men
want to
just
take
rough
any.
It out. We we take it day by day.
If you guys listen to this podcast regularly, you know that he feeds his throat, so I wanted to make sure it was nice and
Gotta
lived up
feed
for the
your throat,
podcast.
guys. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. And we're back. So, welcome back, guys. Had a happy Remembrance Day coming up here soon.
Yes, we do. Happy Remembrance Day.
This will come out.
The day before?
Is this coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be out tomorrow.
Okay, so this is the pre-Remembrance Day show. Man, now that I'm stuttering and I feel like... Okay, so backstory here. Before the show started recording, I was telling Quentin here, we had some comments, and I want to read you guys one of the comments that was brought up. It was on a clip, and this young lady on our...
Fuck is white privilege.
Oh, right there. So she started off by saying this, and now reading her comment and hearing me speak, she's probably not wrong. She goes, "You can hardly," or her name is Cornelius, Torcrneluis. She says, "You can hardly form a sentence, buddy. Number one, don't ever call me buddy."
Those are fighting words right there.
It's like every guy knows if someone calls you buddy,
He's fucking chirping you.
it's never good.
No.
She says, "Maybe work on your public speaking and debate skills before buying a microphone and calling it a podcast." I kind of laughed when she said that. "I've heard my 4-year-old make more concise points." Now, public speaking, I'm not really public speaking, am I?
Well, you're speaking to the public. I mean, she's also never done a podcast, has she, where you get on and you talk for hours and you've already done your full day. You're probably a little bit tired. So,
Yes.
I mean, when you get fired up or you get energetic, sometimes you can't quite get out what you want to say.
No, and we all know, I've made this clear on plenty of episodes. I stutter. I get caught in my words. I need to read a thesaurus, and I need to have a better vocabulary. But this girl's bullying me.
Look, our podcast title isn't "We Are the Best Speakers in the World" and "We're the Best Debaters in the World." We aren't.
Yeah, we're not master debaters.
No.
Masturbators.
Just because she's a master debater doesn't mean that we are terrible at speaking.
Anyways, so I replied with, "Would your 4-year-old like to come on the show and debate me?" Which she followed, "Unfortunately, we tend to keep her away from men who, A, dedicate their lives to a book they are too illiterate to read and comprehend." I think she's referring to the Bible.
Wow.
"Preach how to be fatherly while starting a basement podcast instead of using that time to father his young kids. We're trying to set a positive examples in her life. Maybe instead of offering to debate my 4-year-old, spend time with your own." Well, that's just kind of weird. If I'm not working or doing this, I'm spending all my time with my kids.
So a couple hours out of your week to do a podcast
Yeah,
is you
and
not
my
being a
kids-
parent?
My kids are usually in bed when I do this, so I felt like that was just...
She probably doesn't even work. She probably sits at home and scrolls through social media all day while her husband works.
I
If
don't
she has
know.
one, who knows?
I tried to find this girl on Facebook. I think I found her Facebook, but I won't go into that. And then I replied with, "Here at the Bear With Me podcast, we do appreciate all feedback, either positive or negative. Please tell me how we can improve to not lose you as a listener." She didn't reply after that. I think I got her, but
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, hating on people just to hate on people, she's clearly just a negative person.
I mean, whatever. Listen. I will read the comments. I think they're funny. If you guys want to talk shit. But I will reply back. I think I handled that in a much better situation.
You know what? I think I heard some jealousy there. Maybe she was jealous that we got talked to the Maxime Bernier last week, and she was, she's just a nobody.
She probably didn't. She probably didn't tune into that one.
Probably not.
But talking about that, what'd you think of our interview with him?
I thought it was really good. I think it would have been much better if we had 2 hours and we actually sat down in person, because when you're trying to coordinate kind of like a Zoom call in a podcast form, you have to really wait before you speak. That way you're not talking over the other person. And also with a smaller time frame, you can't quite get into the points that you want to. You want to expand and really ask more questions, but you also want to let him speak in order to hear what he has to say and what his party's platform really is, and to find out his beliefs. What did you think?
Well, yeah, I thought we did fairly good for our first guest ever on the podcast, and the fact that we were doing it like he's on the other side of the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's done remotely, so there was a delay when we were speaking and him speaking. It kind of got caught up sometimes, but it's because it takes about 8 seconds for him to hear what we're saying, vice versa. So it's like if it was a conversation like you and I are having, we can kind of not interrupt, but like it's quicker to respond or like butt in when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that was a little difficult to kind of work around, but
Yep.
for the most part, I thought we handled it really well. He even said he wants to come on and do it in person and do a much longer formatted podcast, which I'm totally down for. But the truth of the matter is, like, hey, we're not that big. We're doing it in your basement. It's hard to get guests to come on, and the time that we shoot, it's usually in the evening. It's later, but look, we're working on getting more people on the podcast. Our next guest who's going to be coming on, big news, guys. I would like to share, which is, I believe his name is Justin Frazier.
So you've confirmed it?
Yeah, I confirmed it. He said he'll come on. I just said we're gonna we'll coordinate and see which times work best. Just hold on, I want to get his name properly. So I'm not sure if you guys know or not his name. Oh, Jason Feeser, Feeser. But he's a preacher or pastor. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona. And I found him because he blew up on the internet, it seemed like. He was giving a sermon. Actually, can we pull this clip up? I'm going to send it to you here.
Yeah, we can.
And he basically was giving, he's talking about, or he's preaching that day, and he was hungry, and he said he was out of breath. It was just really funny how he handled it. Here, I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
Here we go.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just send it to the Bear With Me one, and then you can pull it up through there.
Okay.
And then he was wearing a shirt, like kind of the same shirts that you see me wear. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, well, hey, two things. This guy's jacked. He's a good-looking dude. And, he's preaching the word of God, which is a plus. So let's roll this clip.
Okay, just 1 second.
And just the way he handled it, I thought it was perfect.
Matthew 16. Matthew, I'm a little out of breath already, and I'm a little shaky. I need food. And so if you see my hands shaking, I'm normally eat a meal between first and second, and I didn't, and I'm
jacked.
a little bit shaky. I'm okay, but if you do have a protein bar, you could throw that up on stage, and I will actually take it. Just don't tell Pastor Mark I was eating in the pulpit. Matthew 16. Yeah, do you actually have something? What is this? It's a mini chocolate chewy cashew.
There's opening it, and then his shirt is the thing that grabbed my attention.
Just give me like 30 seconds, I'm gonna pass out.
It says Jesus, the ultimate deadlifter.
Wow.
And then he makes a comment about it too here. It was just hilarious.
Look at my shirt, it's cool.
this video got 500,000 likes.
Wow.
Now, if I have anything in my teeth, don't tell me. Thank you. Let's go to Matthew 16.
So that
Matthew, I'm a little out of breath already.
so
That's
even
hilarious.
His mustache is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So once I saw that, I immediately followed him on Instagram, and then I shot him a message, and we've been talking for the last month and a bit. And then he added me to his close friends list, where he does a lot of workout videos.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's good to see a pastor who's jacked. That should be his name on Instagram, the Jack Pastor.
That's awesome.
So I watched a couple of his sermons, and I like what he says. So I reached out to him last week and said, hey, would you like to come on the podcast? And he said 100%. Now,
That's sweet.
He is in Arizona, so we'll have to do a remote one, unless he wants to fly out here, but probably not.
Or we want to fly down there?
Yeah, I don't think we have we're not that big yet to pack everything up and go down there.
Why
I
not?
mean, it would be cool, but
Be a couple $100 to fly to Arizona.
well, maybe we can talk about that.
That'd be sweet. Why not?
Anyways, yeah. So,
First trip with the pod.
the interview with Maxime went well. I feel like we got the most we could say out of the time that we had with him.
Yeah.
But would anything else on that?
I thought it was interesting that he had a lot of common sense things to say because, he talked about the climate crisis, how it doesn't really exist the way they say it does anyway. You know what I mean? There's the earth has always been changing. 10,000 years ago, where we are right now was under an ice sheet.
Yeah.
And the way they cause fear among the public and then they add a price tag to it, it's just indicative of who these people are. And the big pusher of climate change and climate crisis was Mr. Bill Gates.
Yeah.
And recently, Mr. Bill Gates has walked that back. So I think what he's saying is that is validated in that sense. So it seems like the most common sense party platform that we have in Canada. And it's just unfortunate that, I know a lot of people don't have hope that he could possibly get in. And, where it stands right now, he doesn't have any seats in Parliament. So going from having, 0 seats to even getting a minority government would be extremely difficult unless you had, like what he said, a peaceful revolution where you get even one person in there and it spreads. But you have to get a lot of people, millions of people on board and want to take that risk in order to get them in Parliament.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I was kind of bummed during this past election that there was no option to vote for the PPC.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in 2018, when they first came out, I voted for them because it seemed like everything that they were talking about followed with my beliefs and how I wanted the country to go. But this time around, like he was saying, he had so many MPs jump ship at the last minute, and they couldn't get it on the docket. Is that correct?
They were plants, I think. He referred to them to being. He kind of implied they were plants from the Conservative government to screw them up, just like the Liberal parties got those MPs this week crossing the floor to their parliament or their side of Parliament.
Yeah, the one guy said he was thinking about crossing, and then his party was like, "Pardon me." And so now he's, I guess, is it confirmed that he's gone to the Liberal Party?
There's only been one guy, that Chris Don Trump, whatever, from New Brunswick, I think, that's confirmed. I looked it up before the podcast.
And said, "I'm done."
He
Liberal."
aligns more with the budget of the Liberal Party. I'm thinking, they talked a lot about nation building projects, which is what they're doing across Canada right now. I met a guy at the gym actually who has contracts for one of those, whatever project he's doing.
Yeah.
So I think that there must be something in there that pertains to his riding in his area where the Liberal government is giving them funds. So I'm assuming, okay, it kind of makes sense for your constituents in the area as a whole, but the people that voted for you as a Conservative, they got defrauded essentially.
Yeah.
You should have to rerun that riding, and you go as a Liberal. You have to first get elected as a Liberal person there, because I'm sure there's another person who ran for the Liberal Party there. But I did some background research on that guy, and he was a part of the progressive conservative movement in wherever he was, New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, whatever. And
What is a progressive conservative movement?
so, just like in Alberta, where we have the United Conservative Party, in other provinces they have progressive conservatives, the PC, in the provincial area, but it's all tied into the federal party of the conservatives as a whole. But they have like different provincial parties that are called different names, essentially.
Okay.
So he was part of the Progressive Conservative Party, which I think Maxime was, or his dad was, in Quebec
Okay.
years ago.
Whenever I hear the word like progressive, I immediately think like pro-gay,
Yeah.
pro-immigration, pro, everything.
Well, the thing is, what are you progressing to? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Because as a society, we're pretty modern and progressing to what?
Yeah.
It seems like we've been regressing for a while. Progressing to what? More government control or regressing to no freedoms? It sounds like we're devolving versus evolving.
Yeah, well, a lot of stupid people out there.
Yeah, well, they think it just goes back to people. The government creates the problem, which is causing crime in our societies by allowing criminals out, and then they come in with the solution of safety, and then people vote for safety because they want to feel safe. Typically, liberal beta men or liberal women.
Yeah.
Right. Or you have like what Maxime said on the podcast. You have 43% of Canadians who are beholden to the federal government, no matter who's in power, because of things like, you have government services. So people who work for the government, but are civilians. And then, you have the police, you have the military, you have the driver's test places, like all these federal government facilities. And then you have people who are on welfare or disability. They're also tied to the government. So you have half the population beholden to the government, and they're obviously going to vote for the people who give them the most benefits or the most money. And that is typically the liberal government because they spend the most.
I guess that makes sense in a sort, but I feel like it's not really getting us anywhere.
Well, it's not. What it's doing is they're creating the problem by taxing us to oblivion, putting regulations on things, driving up the housing prices and the food prices because they're bringing in so many people. They're making it unattainable to get doctors because of the amount of people they're bringing in.
Yeah.
So they're creating all these issues and then strangling you financially. And then they're coming in when you're poor and saying, here, we'll give you this amount of money. And then it's like, okay, I'm definitely going to vote for you because you're in dire straits and you don't want to do anything to save yourself. So you get the big protector, the big brother to come and save you.
Yeah. And I mean, like what Maxine was saying about like immigration, he was like, yeah, halt. No immigration for 4 to 5 years, completely full stop. And I was like, hell yeah.
And then he said, and deportations.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that word specifically. When I asked him that question, I was trying to lead a horse to water, and he went right to the water, and he said what he thought. And it's what he said in his platform too, so it's not like it's not public knowledge, but I wanted to hear him say it.
Yeah. Like, and now that like the teachers are back in schools, they were forced to go back apparently.
Yeah, good.
But I'm looking at it. They're like, yeah, these classrooms are overrun. Our hospitals are overrun. Our housing economy is overrun. And it's like, yeah, it's because we don't have enough houses, we don't have enough schools, we don't have enough hospitals to bring in this amount of people. And it's like the liberal government doesn't see that. Like, oh, well, we just keep on bringing more voters, and then we'll stay in power. But imagine if we stop bringing in, I think the liberal government posted something about they're planning on bringing another 350,000 more people in for next year, and it goes up each year.
Well, they say that, but there's over 850,000 in the first few months of this year. So what are you talking about? 380,000? Like,
Yeah,
it's such a lie that they're triple that number, and that's what you actually get.
But we need to
The thing is that they don't care. It's not that they don't see it. They don't care about the people that are already here. They care about the people that are coming because they want to bolster the ridings with the rural immigration pilot program, with keeping people so down financially that they save them by giving them money. And they have voters. It's creating a one-party system. It's what Biden was doing in the U.S. by bringing in all the illegals and not having voter ID laws. so that they can create a one-party system. That's what it is.
Well, I saw a video today. It was on Instagram. This guy was like, "How the fuck does the liberal government expect me to get anywhere in life?" He goes, "This was $30. It was 2 boxes of cereal and like a gallon of milk."
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm gonna be living in my parents' fucking basement till I'm 35. If I'm working." Excuse me.
Should have had the tea.
Should have the tea. If I'm working, this is 2 hours worth of pay.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
And this is all it gets me is 2 boxes of cereal and some milk. And I was like, yeah, dude, I feel that. Look at
That's
the
crazy.
price it is of a house.
Yeah.
It's like we have no more money. We don't have money to throw around anymore. And like all this keeps on coming out, but people are like, well, the government will figure it out. They always do. I don't think they know
When?
what they're doing.
When did they figure it out?
Because it's like, well,
We're still waiting for the budget to balance itself. It still hasn't done it.
no. Like, we're so far in debt. Like, we're so fucked. And I hate having to say that. But
Yeah.
it's like, where do we go from here?
I hate to say it. 51st state, baby. Let's go.
I'm not opposed to that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Alberta needs to separate, or we need to join the U.S., but this, it's just too much.
Well, if we join the U.S., then we have the ICE system here, baby.
Well, yeah. Well, in Calgary, the CBSA, we're going around to construction sites, and apparently they got over like 600 people in Calgary.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were taking them out.
Well,
And
yeah, you know what? You're right. There was something on Wednesday where the I don't know if it was the new mayor, he's getting involved, he's doing something. The city of Calgary put 1,200 people, police officers, downtown,
yeah,
and they
taking them
arrested a
downtown.
ton of people.
Yeah, they found like drugs, weapons, you name it.
Shit that has been there every day, but they finally went and did something about it. It's like,
Yeah, good. I mean, good on him for doing that. But
if that was him, I don't know. I'm
let's
just
keep
saying.
on, let's move forward.
What my question is, okay, it sounds good. It looks good on the headline and a news post. What happened to those people? The 600 people from CBSA, did they deport them or did they just let them go?
We don't know.
That's the
Like,
problem.
thing, is, like, we don't know.
It looks like they're doing something, but are they actually?
Well, and these people that they arrested downtown, since we have such a leniency on crime, it's like, okay, did you process them? And then were they just let out the very next day?
Well, Friday I was cruising downtown around 6 and it's dark at that time. Dude, I've never seen so many homeless people out and about doing their thing. Police
Right.
standing there, they're like making them pick up their houses on the construction sites. Like they've unpacked everything. They made them repack it and move down the street. It's like they've got a lot of work to do. They should do that every day. They could do that every day for the rest of the year and there'd still be people down there.
Well, then people are gonna be like, well, now you're taking police away from policing crime. It's like, well,
I thought you wanted to defund the police.
yeah,
This is what happens.
we need cops doing cop shit, but we
Yeah.
also need, the general public to feel safe in neighborhoods, downtown. It's just they're everywhere.
I got an idea.
What?
El Salvador style, build a mega prison and throw them in.
Yeah, but
Mega prison, baby.
why don't we get them proper, health care? Because
Well, the criminals, the criminals.
oh yeah, well that too. But I mean, like these homeless people, addicts. Like I think Danielle Smith was talking about doing involuntary rehab,
Yes.
scooping these people up, taking them to rehab, make sure they get clean, and then when they get out, they have a job to go to. They have all the right like resources. But a lot of people are like, well, that goes against their freedom of rights. I'm like, well, what is their freedom of rights doing for them right now? They're on the streets. They're using. You see these homeless people on every corner with their signs.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not with the signs, they're breaking in. It's getting out of control. It's becoming dangerous. So I'm glad that the mayor of Calgary decided to do something about it finally. But let's just see how long that goes for.
Well, the problem is she pledged like $180 million to this involuntary program, like you said. And then people put an uproar in, like, okay, you can't do that because you're infringing on rights. What about the law-abiding people, the tax-paying people who just want to go to work every day, whose rights are being infringed upon because of people who can't help themselves? It's not like these people are inherently bad people or that you want to just take away their rights. It's that you want to facilitate a program that will help them actually live their lives and help the people around them. Our societies are degrading at an exponential rate because we're not dealing with the problem. And therefore, if you don't deal with the problem, it only gets bigger.
Yeah. Well, people are gonna. They have to want to have to help themselves first before they do anything. And you can, round them up as many times, but as soon as you let them out, the more likely to go back to, bad habits.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to-
Yeah.
So going back to Maxime Bernier, first guest, were you nervous bringing him on?
Oh yeah, I was.
I was a little nervous because I was like, don't swear, don't say anything stupid. And I thought I listened to it. I was like, well, I thought I did pretty good. You did really good, too.
You did really good,
'Cause
actually.
You were just laying down facts, and I was just sitting there nodding like, yeah, he's the smart guy.
Well, I think it's difficult, though. Like, the dynamic of it being a remote. You know what I mean? If it was in person, it'd be
Chiming in
different.
a little more,
It's
yeah.
different, right?
Well, we were talking about, like, the delay. And then we lost connection there for a minute. That was, like, my heart sank. I was like, oh, no.
That's what I was nervous of, because we've done lives and we've done even podcasts that aren't live, and
They
we've
just
had
shut down.
we've had issues. So I was nervous that of how, not only how he would be as an individual,
Yeah.
and how it would be to speak to him, but also the connection issue. That's what I was worried about. Like, okay, we have to make sure it goes correctly.
Don't lose power. Don't lose audio. And it went, I would say it went pretty clean.
Well, it did actually. You know what? Because even when it cut out, his side didn't it still recorded everything that he said. So when I uploaded it, it didn't show.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty damn good then.
Yeah, we're professionals.
So,
Tora Cornelius or whatever.
Yeah, bitch. Sorry.
It had to be
I shouldn't say
said.
that. I mean,
It
fuck
had to be
you.
said.
Your stupid ass comment about me not being a good dad. Fuck you. Okay? I'm a great dad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I'm not good in life. Yes, I'm not good at speaking with big words, and sometimes I get a little tongue-tied or I say the wrong thing. But no one on this earth can tell me I'm not a good dad.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
She's online posting crap to
Yeah.
social media pages. Maybe she should focus on her kids. Put
Sorry,
down her
I
phone.
don't let my children listen to this, blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, I wouldn't tell any kid to listen to this show. What are you, retarded? Like,
Yeah.
obviously not. And then when she was, what's the comment she said about the book? About reading the Bible?
Well, you know what's funny about that? That she said that you're preaching about a book that you're too illiterate to read. You know what's funny? Is she calling everybody before the last few hundred years illiterate? Because before, only the preachers would read the Bible. They could only read the Bible.
Too
Nobody else could
illiterate
read.
to read and comprehend. B, preach how to be fatherly while starting a basement podcast. Okay, I don't know what starting a podcast doesn't make me fatherly. Like,
She's
that's
just
probably why Rogan and all those podcasters say don't read the comments.
they
just deal with stupid people all the time. But
yeah.
I think it's funny. It gives me something to talk about. But no one on this earth can say I'm not a good dad.
Yeah, well, she had to go to personal attacks. That's all she did was personal attack. She didn't say anything constructive.
Yeah, I mean, she clearly knows. Like I said, I couldn't. I have no common friends with her, so. But whatever. Fuck you. Let's get into our first clip of the day,
Okay. Sounds good.
bitch.
All right, we'll get into this one. Okay, so we had talked on a previous podcast about the Cowichan tribes in BC, how they're doing these land grabs in Richmond, and then also that 95% of the land is up for grabs. Apparently, who knows if that will actually happen? We're not saying that will. But take a look at these people. So the Native Americans in Canada talk about how they are stewards of the land and they respect the land and nobody should own it because it's the creator's land. Look at how they treat the land. Let's get into it.
Ooh, I haven't seen this.
Oh, this is good. This is great. And even Global News posted this.
You can see all the garbage piled up just there.
We're with community advocate Peter Rusland, who's pointing across the Cowichan River to what the government calls an unauthorized landfill, though neighbors have some other choice words to describe it.
It's disgusting and it's illegal and it's dangerous.
From the air, the scale of the dump is extraordinary. Provincial documents say there are 290,000 cubic meters of waste here, about 40% of it construction and demolition waste, as well as contaminated soil. Worrisome pollutants, they say, include heavy metals, asbestos and lead paint. And despite years of operation, The Ministry of Environment says no permit has ever been issued for the site.
It's a huge toxic soup of ties, tires, plastic, demolition debris.
The dump is situated on Cowichan Tribe's reserve land near the city of Duncan, and provincial documents allege the operator is Cowichan First Nation member James Anthony Peter. They've issued a pollution prevention order to him and told him he can't accept any more waste. We asked the Cowichan tribes if they'd ever approved the dump and what steps they were taking to deal with it, but they didn't respond in time for this report.
Every single government body around here did absolutely nothing.
While governments
No
had
surprise.
apparently failed to stop the dumping, it doesn't appear to be from lack of awareness. Rustland, along with the local website Six Mountains, had been publicizing it. And neighbors tell us they've been
This is the
calling
bad
their
part here.
elected officials for years.
Listen,
One big concern is the nearby Cowichan River. A technical report says pollutants from the dump are migrating via groundwater toward the river.
So you might be wondering, who are the people who've been dumping vast amounts of waste at what's pretty clearly been an unauthorized landfill? And will there be any attempt to track them down? So far, the government is saying no comment as it's under investigation.
thank you, Paul.
Okay, so 2 things on this. Worried about toxic stuff leaking to the river.
Yeah.
If that landfill is that close to that river, I guarantee you stuff's already been leaching into there.
Well, yeah, it
So,
is.
What had happened, I've worked at a landfill before. So when you work at a landfill, you basically, wherever your main lift is, where you're dumping the majority of your garbage, is you excavate the area, you put down these mats, so it's like almost like it catches the contaminants, and then you have these wells. Because every time it rains, it's raining on all this garbage, it's leaking into the soil, and then you can see how close it is to that river. That's gonna run off, and I guarantee you, it's been leaking to that river for however long it's been there.
Yep.
Now, at the landfills here in Calgary, is we have these things called leachate wells. So all that toxic sludge and goop, it goes into these wells, it gets captured, and then a truck comes by, sucks it out, and then gets taken to a plant where it's treated. So they get rid of all the other stuff, and then they separate the good water from the bad water. Good water goes to a pond, and then it's re-released into the area. The bad stuff is basically, it sits there, and then they do with it later on. I'm not exactly sure what they do with it, but it's a proper system. But you can't tell anything to them because it's on native land, but for them wanting to be these saviors of the earth and all that, it seems like you guys aren't really doing a good job.
No accountability either.
That's crazy that I didn't think they'd be allowed to do that, especially being so close to a river. Not good.
Not at all. Yeah, they're going to take the land in Richmond. It's going to be the exact same. If you've driven through any reserve in Canada, it doesn't look far from that.
Yeah. Before they should say, hey, we're going to take back this land. Well, why don't you show a good example of, the land you're on right now? And don't bitch about, oh, we don't have money, this. You guys get $47 billion a year. Do better.
The Cowichan tribe is the richest First Nations in Canada.
You guys are just supposed to be the first custodians of the land, but you guys are doing a real shit job of it. Now, that's not saying for all native tribes, but the Cowichan tribe, you guys suck. Fucking do better.
Do better. You hear that? Okay, that's the word of the day. Do better, guys.
Yeah, do better.
Okay.
And you were going on earlier about Bill Gates.
Yeah, Billy Gates. Yeah.
Talking about, because if you guys don't know, Bill Gates has been a huge proponent in the climate change, narrative.
Proponent, nice word.
Yeah, I was reading my thesaurus.
Yeah.
But what's funny is you don't hear Greta Thunberg and her autism ass talking about, oh, guess what? The Antarctic or the Arctic ice caps got a surplus of ice. It was like something like 4 trillion tons of ice added to the polar ice caps.
Well, she's moved from climate change to the Free Palestine movement.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how anyone takes her serious. Like, she's a young girl with autism, and you shouldn't listen to anything she has to say.
Maybe Bill Gates created her in the lab. Who knows?
So what did Bill Gates have to say on this?
So Billy Gates, he had this to say.
Is it true that you can leap over a chair from a standing position?
It depends on the size of the chair. I'll cheat a little bit.
Yes!
In a move more surprising than jumping over chairs or dancing on stage, billionaire philanthropist and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates has made a major climate change reversal. The former world's richest man, who has spent more than a decade warning that rising global temperatures would spell disaster for human civilization, now says climate change will not lead to humanity's demise.
We have to frame it in terms of overall human welfare, not just everything should be solely for climate.
The stunning pivot away from the doomsday outlook comes after years of advocacy and billions in investment in the fight against climate change.
Avoiding a climate disaster will be one of the greatest challenges humans have ever taken on. Greater than landing on the moon, greater than eradicating smallpox, even greater than putting a computer on every desk.
In a recently published essay, Mr. Gates argues that the metric that should count, even more than emissions and temperature change, is improving lives. He suggests that too much good money has been put into expensive and questionable efforts. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been a leader in financing global efforts to fight greenhouse gas emissions, funding numerous high-profile initiatives, even bankrolling a controversial experiment to dim the sun and redirect its rays out of the atmosphere.
Idiot.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
Good God.
Instead, Mr. Gates argues the world's philanthropists and governments must now increase their investment in other efforts aimed at preventing disease and hunger.
The ambitious goal of staying to 1.5 degrees. We won't be able to do that. Even if you took all the money away from health, you wouldn't be able to do that. So now, the question is, okay, what temperature level are we going to end up at? Very important to minimize that, but not at the expense of everything else.
Despite the inevitable impact of climate change, Mr. Gates argues that people will be able to live and thrive in most places on Earth for the foreseeable future, emphasising that climate change, disease and poverty are all major problems, and we should deal with them in proportion to the suffering they cause.
Oh, yeah, here we go. He found a new business venture, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, he's been big into vaccine for a long time, but it's just weird now that they're realize all their, doomsday clocks aren't panning out to what they said they were going to be, so now they're changing their tone.
Kind of funny how that works.
Which, you know what? I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, you guys made a mistake. So, admit that. Say, you know what? Yeah, we were maybe wrong. We had the misinformation, whatever the case. But...
Well, he didn't say he was wrong. He just said we need to minimize it and then maximize outcomes of life.
Yeah, I mean...
Meanwhile, he got banned from Kenya because he's giving injections to people.
Yeah, they killed how many freaking people?
Well, they were doing a lot of drug trials down over in Africa for a long time, decades. Fauci was involved in that.
Yeah.
Decades, killed people.
Didn't talk about that during all this, COVID dilemma, but... Oh, shit. Sorry. Just about knocked over our deer head skull there.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's interesting that they're changing their tone a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see what he comes out with next, because he must have another form of money coming in.
Well, yeah. I don't. I always wonder.
We'll see what the new crisis is next week.
Yeah, it's everything's. My thing is, I think it's because so many people have access to the internet now, 24/7. It's quite hard to kind of bullshit people.
Mm-hmm.
People can just pull it up on their phone.
They've just done so much shady stuff that nobody believes anything that anyone says anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we've gone to a point now where I hope most people don't, but a lot of people do. That where There's legit information in front of them, but because they've been lied to so much that they think everything is a conspiracy. So don't become one of those people where clear information is there, but you can't see it anymore because you're convinced that everything is either it's not what it say it is or it's a conspiracy.
Maybe that's the point.
I get that too, because someone will show me the information and I'll be like, okay, well, where does that information come from?
Mm-hmm.
On certain things. Like when it comes to food and fitness, I kind of get a little, I'm like, okay, well, show me the actual data. Like, don't just show me a clip that off Instagram. It's like when people say aspartame is bad for you. I'm like, okay, show me a legit human study. I know we've kind of talked about that before, but that's one that gets me going. Or you know what I really hate is when you say something to somebody and in real time they'll Google it. Right in front of you. I'm like, hey, you piece of shit. Are you literally fact-checking me on the spot right
They're
now?
verifying.
And some people do that.
It's funny. I was just about to type in aspartame.
Oh, don't do that. Or it's like, one thing that a lot of people don't like to question me on because I might have a little case of the tism with that. But when it comes to movies, like, I can barely, if I'm studying for like a job or something, I'm terrible at that. But I can watch a movie and retain all that information one time. Like the amount of callbacks I can do on like TV movies, it's stupid. It's like the most retarded like skill I have. But like I can remember everything about everything with that show, movie, you name it. I may not remember when it came out, but I can tell you who's in it, what the plot was, all that. Stupid thing.
Maybe you found your superpower.
Yeah, I'm a human version of IMDb.
I feel like if people watch podcasts enough and the amount of time you bring up movies and TV shows, they'll know that.
Right? Like I said, I can have a little bit of tism when it comes to that. But I don't know. We'll see we'll see how it goes forward with this what's the new crisis going to be. But,
yeah, I'm sure it's coming, and it does every year.
Right. So I feel like we can leave. Oh, exit that one.
Well, do you want to talk about this?
No, we'll leave it for the next episode.
Okay.
I think we've been going good. This is gonna be a little short one for you guys this week.
Yep.
But happy Monday. Actually, do you want to read some of the comments on the YouTube one?
Yeah, we've had some good comments today.
Or do you want to leave that for the next episode?
No, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Let's pull it up. This is always a good portion
yes.
of the podcast, guys.
So I posted some videos today about what we talked about with Wilfrid Laurier a couple podcasts ago in his address to Canadians. And we got some good feedback on that.
When we say good feedback, it usually means controversial. Or someone's like going out of their way to be hurtful in the comments. Which, hey, that's your right. We're totally okay with that. So, lean into it.
Please do. Please do. So this guy, David, says, we were supposed to listen to the bigoted ideas of an old white rich man who didn't believe rights for indigenous people nor women. He didn't oppose slavery. He did not believe in religious freedom. Keep your outdated, small-minded theories to yourself.
My funny thing is, why does it always have to start with that way? Old white man. Why couldn't it just be old and rich man?
Liberals, man. They always have to do that. They always do that.
Race into it?
Every time. Nothing was mentioned bad about race in that address.
Do you want to pull up the kind of give context to like what we
what the
comment was about? So this was from the Prime Minister of Canada, and I think it was on the episode when we were talking about immigration and whatnot.
1 second. He didn't obviously watch the full thing, right?
No, they usually never do.
No. So let me just 1 second. Let me just pull this up.
It's like when people bring up clips about Charlie Kirk. They'll talk about things. I'm like, yeah, but did you listen to the full clip or watch the full clip? Or did you just grab the one little snippet where he said something, but then you're taking it out of context?
Yeah. Okay, so what he said was, in the first place, this isn't exactly it. In the first place, we should insist that if the immigrant who comes here in good faith becomes a Canadian and assimilates himself to us, he shall be treated on an exact equality with everyone else. For it is an outrage to discriminate against any such man because of creed or birthplace or origin. What's racist about that? But this is predicated upon the person's becoming, in every facet, a Canadian, and nothing but a Canadian. There can be no divided allegiance here. Obviously, you want a unified country. Any man who says he is a Canadian, but something else also, isn't a Canadian at all. Unity. We have room for but one flag, the Canadian flag, and we have room for but one sole loyalty, and that is a loyalty to the Canadian people. What is racist about that?
That was Wilfrid Laurier,
1907.
who was the Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, talking about immigration. So I don't see how that's racist or bigoted. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. That is the opposite of that. It's saying everyone should be equal as long as you're actually here on good faith as a Canadian.
Yeah, well, that just goes to show you about comments on YouTube. A lot of them tend to be, I mean, it could be a bot. It could be someone with a fake account.
What I said back to him was, can you cite any legitimate evidence of any of that, or do you just make baseless claims and use buzzwords to get attention? Pick up a history book. This is what he says. Pick up a history book. All you need to do is read. You don't even need to leave your mom's basement. It's my basement, actually, asshole. You can get books online nowadays. It will give you a break from the racist sites you visit currently. What are you talking about?
That was literally the Canadian government website. If you're calling him racist, I might slightly agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't know how that's racist. That's the only thing they have because we're white. Pick up a history book, question mark is what I said. People who have absolutely zero real knowledge and only make assertions always resort to personal attacks. I think you should go read up on history before spewing your nonsense. So you know what? I took the liberty to research this actually myself before I responded back in case I was wrong. So, actually, I made a note here.
You're much better at responding to comments than I do. I just like to make it funny.
Yeah, well,
and give them shit.
Well, at the same time, I mean, if we are incorrect, we're incorrect, and I will admit that. Okay, so what we can verify. This is using AI to surf the internet, obviously. Laurier was Prime Minister of Canada from 1896 to 1911, and his government made significant decisions affecting Indigenous people. For example, the government pursued cost-cutting in the Department of Indian Affairs, land surrender processes, and treaty negotiations during his tenure. So really not racist towards anybody, but saying, okay, we're going to cut the funding there. Sure, okay, you could say that's discrimination if you want to. On women's rights, Laurier's era was one in which full federal suffrage for women had not yet been granted. Okay, the Federal Women's Franchise Act granting many women the vote was in 1918 after his time in office. So it doesn't really mean that he was against it, but he didn't pass it during his tenure. Okay. So historical record shows that Indigenous communities during Laurier's government faced policies that prioritized settler expansion, cost reduction of quote-unquote Indian administration, and land surrenders. So he prioritized Canada as a whole and not small subgroups. Okay.
So, needless to say, David, what's his name?
David dash whatever.
Fuck off.
Yeah. You don't know what you're talking about, you clown.
If you're going to talk shit, come talk shit, but, bring the facts.
Yeah.
And you lost. So, well done, Quentin.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And anybody else who wants to try it, come on, bring it on.
Try our Instagram too, our Twitter. I don't have or not Twitter. What was it? TikTok. I almost said TikTok. Go up on the TikTok. Do you get any comments on the TikTok?
I feel like we got throttled.
Throttled?
Yeah. We got muted a few times. A few videos got muted.
Oh really?
Yeah. So it's on and off views.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not a big site.
Well, I guess
but you know what?
Racist.
Follow us on there. If you don't like it, follow us anyway. Comment on our stuff, please. Like it, dislike it, whatever you want to do.
Yes,
I love it.
Anyways, okay, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to another good episode. Please like, share, comment, tell your mom, tell your dad. Happy Remembrance Day.
Happy Remembrance Day.
And
wear your poppies.
Yeah, wear your poppies. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.